we implement OKRs, right? So there is, this process track, where you really focus on, or people also call this as a hard track, right? You have a process and you really follow, the process start to finish, for a quarter, for a year. But then there is also the soft track, right? And for a lot of organizations, their values, right, actually power the soft track. And I've heard a lot about WFG's 5 values, right? And can you please tell us a little bit about how your values played a role in this journey, right? And how did the values actually translated to specific OKRs, and how did they guide your team's efforts? Right? Be great.
Yeah, it kind of is that North Star. It's where you can actually have some level of decision making that's built upon a belief system. And our founder is a gentleman named Pat Stone, and he sat at the head of the largest underwriter in the nation, and ran them through their growth phase. Then he also sat on the board of the second largest underwriter in the nation. And what he realized was that he thought there was an opportunity to become a more client-centric company, that we should be a part of our client's process as opposed to the ones trying to dictate the process. And so we actually started out with an original 4 cornerstones. Those are: everything we do is because of you. That's kind of our guiding light. We make sure to stay externally focused on the client. To obsess about service. And to obsess about service, it doesn't mean you just talk about it. It's you measure it, you follow it, when it goes up, when it goes down, you're able to make the adjustments that you need to do there. The other one is to take time and cost out of the real estate transaction. That's something that we actually believe is possible, that we can do a more succinct transaction and that we can do it at a lesser expense and we can make everyone more efficient. That's all kind of connected to this idea of communicate, collaborate, and coexist. We call those our 3 C's. And that is more of like how we live. We're going to constantly communicate with everyone. We're going to collaborate, and then we're going to coexist with all of the partners in the process to create a better transaction for all parties involved. And then about 2 years ago, we introduced our 5th cornerstone, which is to reimagine the customer experience, to not be victim to the old traditions of the past and feel like, oh, we have to do it this way. It's to always be looking on behalf of the customer to see if there's a better way to do that. So when you have like any company, limited resources, we don't have an unlimited war chest to go do whatever we want to do. When you're setting up OKRs, you make sure that they connect back to those ideals. Are they helping us take the time and cost out of real estate? Are they helping us communicate with our clients at a better level? Are they helping us reimagine the customer experience? Are we doing this because we're obsessed about service? And that really kind of gives us that guiding light or North Star that then the tactical things start to plug in underneath. And we can say, if we accomplish these things, we are living up to our ideals or our beliefs, which are those 5 cornerstones.
That's pretty inspiring. And folks, what we see, right, repeatedly in many of these success stories is that the values of the organization, they become the most toughest, I would say, competitive advantage, right? I mean, that's very hard for a competitor to replicate, right? And having a customer at the center, right, of your entire world, and designing processes around the customer, and I think that has really proved to be a great differentiator. Now,
well, I know I hate to say, I mean, I know we're here to talk OKRs, but I can't help it because I love marketing so much. If you don't live by those ideals, but you just put them out as marketing jargon, inevitably what you've created is a culture of hypocrisy. You're saying something, but you're not doing it. And so we say these words to ourselves all the time about our cornerstones. How do we make it true? How do we make it true? How do we make it true? And so that's really important from an OKR standpoint to say, okay, we want to take the time and cost out of real estate. How do we make it true? And let's develop strategies and tactics to be able to do that.